And so for a few months I attempted diets, and from summer of '05 to, I say, the spring of '06. I say the winter of '06. March of '06 is when I made a real solid attempt to get back into fitness and exercise. So I started with push-ups and sit-ups and weights, and a running routine, that kind of thing. And it worked for a month, and then I gave up. And then got back into it the fall of '06, and I dropped some weight, of course. And then I gave up about, after a month or so, I gave up on that, gave it a break. Then in the winter '06, '07, I went back on the weights, and I dropped a considerable amount of weight. I got as low as 173. I think sometime in February of '07. And then I got full of myself, and I raised the bar too high, and as a result of it, I ended up giving up on the weights toward the spring of '07. I just gave up. So summer of '07, I had a lot of issues I was dealing with jobs and career changes and school, and that was a result of it. It wasn't until things calmed down at the fall of '07 I made another attempt. And as a result of that, that only lasted a month and a half. And as a result, I sort of, my diet kind of went off thing, and I even had I would say my first case of heart attack. It wasn't major or nothing, but I could feel it a little bit, the signs and that, but I didn't have to go to the hospital because I was healthy. I took aspirin, and and I relaxed. It was on November of 2007 that I had my first real heart attack. But I mean, it didn't send me to the hospital, but it made me think that I have to start changing my lifestyle a bit. And then 2008, I would try attempts at the weights, but I sort of gave it up. I tried diets, but didn't work, and then so I gave it up. '09, I kind of same way, but no major attempts. It wasn't until I was unemployed for about 5 months straight, from the spring of '09 to the fall of '09, that I had a lot of time on my hands to do some bike rides and walking. And of course, then July of '09 was another milestone because of financial difficulties. I ended up having to sell my 1993 Honda Civic. But what that did was, the good side of it was, I was able to focus more on utilizing my financial resources and maybe eating a little better. But I didn't really put it into practice, and I fell into that funk mode, and I got a really bad case of acid reflux. And I don't think, now when I think about it, looking back, I don't think it was a heart attack in November of '07. I think it was just a wicked case of acid reflux that I got in November of '07, having a lot of pizzas and double meat Italian mixed subs, McDonald's, Burger King, that kind of stuff. That contributed to a lot of salts and sodiums. So basically, for a little while, then I started basically with the exercise. Basically, when I got my next job in the fall of '09, to do stretches, that kind of stuff. And then basically when I went to nursing school for my CNA, I became more aware of things health-wise. but I still had that bad habit of diet. And my maximum weight I hit was 211. I took a picture with my iPhone. I was at Crossgates Mall. I was at the mall one day having a sub. And I was looking at a picture of myself, and I didn't like what I saw. And so I had to think of what I was going to do to change the situation. And I think that's where the true step of journey began, like 2 years prior in 2010. So I started the journey, I believe, in March 2010, when gradually I started with diet. You know, okay, I'll have a burger. I would have like maybe a Big Mac and 2 double cheeseburgers, and then the next week I would go a Big Mac and 1 double cheeseburger, and then a Big Mac, and then finally McDonald's maybe once a week, and then once every 2 weeks. And gradually, it's like cigarettes or like soda or anything, you gradually wind it down. And once I got my diet under control, then I focused on finding a program or a technique that could work for me to bring my weight down and keep me physically in shape, not only physically but mentally. And so it was right after my friend's birthday, during the month of June of 2010, I came up with the idea of basically come up with like a cardio type thing where you could do in your living room or bedroom. Well, I tried it in the living room at first, the beginning of summer 2010. I tried it with 10 reps. I experimented, and then I gradually moved from the living room to the bedroom in the fall of 2010, and then I tried some new techniques. It was kind of like a hit and miss, and then basically when we got into when 2010 turned into 2011, I basically started fine-tuning the cardio routine. And then once I had that down to where it was regular, I moved on to weights, little by little though. And like I said, I'm back down to doing cardio because I'm just busy doing other stuff. I found if I can't keep with it, I just go to very small cardio routine, and at the same time I try to gradually decrease the amount of bad stuff. So now I'm down to a point where if I go out for fast food, it's basically Subway, and I have tuna fish, and I find a very healthy whole grain wheat bread, and that's the only thing I do for fast food. Otherwise, I make my own meals at home. And that was another thing during 2010 was if it was regular butter, I switch over to fat-free butter. If it was regular vitamin D milk, which I was taking, I go to skim fat-free milk. Things like that. And over time, I will go more into depth into things like that. But basically, this being 2012, one thing I did also was I did not start my resolutions in the beginning of the year. I started right in the middle of the year. March. So I figured I'd give myself a couple months extra to do what I wanted, unless the doctor ordered me, and I do not like to be ordered by people. I like to have that independent thought. I figure I would try March or June of the year, and I find I've had better success. I'm not setting myself up mentally. So, this being said, this is about 18 and a half months and, about 2 years. And I've had pretty good success, I have to say. I'm hoping I stick with it. And, I hope that whoever tries these out, that'll work for them too. That's the main purpose of me posting it. It's not for me, for my use, but to share the information and help other people. So with further ado, you know, give me comments if you feel something's not working. Constructive criticism is encouraged, but if it's very mean negative comments, they're going to be deleted. The whole idea is not to have negativity but positivism. The goal of it is to reinforce positivity, that if you try something, you make an attempt, try your best doing your best is the main thing. If you know that you can go and do 12 and that's as much as you can do, at least you're tried and you can live with that medium. And so, I wish whoever tries it the best luck with it. Okay, so take care and good luck with it, and God bless. And Happy New Year.